Will Johnson was once projected to be a top 5 pick in the 2025 NFL Draft. Some analysts even called him the best cornerback prospect in years, a future shutdown guy, the kind of player you build your secondary around. And yet, when draft night came, his name wasn't called in the first round. In fact, it wasn't called in the first 40 picks. He didn't come off the board until pick number 47, when the Arizona Cardinals finally took the chance. So, how did this happen? What changed between the hype of a top 5 projection and the reality of slipping deep into the second round? Let's rewind. Will Johnson was a 5-star recruit coming out of high school. He committed to Michigan, and from day one, he looked like a future pro. Long, physical, smart. Johnson had all the tools. By his sophomore season, he had already become one of the best corners in the nation. He wasn't just making highlight reel interceptions. He was shutting down entire sides of the field. Offenses didn't even look his way. In 2023, he was arguably the best player on a Michigan team that won the national championship. That team was loaded with talent, and Johnson stood out. He had elite ball skills, freakish instincts, and probably the smoothest footwork in the country. Scouts loved his patience in press coverage, his ability to read routes mid-play, and the fact that he rarely got beat over the top. Heading into the 2024 college season, there was real talk that Johnson could be a top 5 pick, maybe even the first defensive player off the board. He was that good. But then, the injuries started to stack up. First, in spring 2024, he underwent knee surgery to repair cartilage damage. Nothing structural, but any knee procedure, especially for a cornerback, raises red flags. Then, early in the season, he missed a game with a shoulder injury. Not major, but again, another layer of concern. And then, 6 games into the year, the big one. Turf toe. A nagging injury, and one that ended his season entirely. He never returned to the field. As if that weren't enough, he missed the NFL Combine due to a hamstring strain. That meant no official testing numbers, no on-field drills, and limited face time with teams. In his pre-draft interviews, Johnson insisted he was healthy. He said his knee was fine, that the turf toe was behind him, and that he was ready to go. But in the NFL, saying you're fine and proving you're fine are two very different things, especially when you're a player who relies on quick bursts, lateral agility, and speed to succeed. And NFL GMs? They weren't convinced. The medical questions piled up and teams got nervous. It's a classic case of a prospect with undeniable talent but growing doubts about durability. And that's how a guy with top 5 tape slides all the way into the second round. But here's the thing. Despite all that, I still believe this is one of the biggest steals of the entire draft. At pick 47, the Cardinals didn't just get value. They got a player who, if healthy, could turn out to be a legitimate shutdown corner in the NFL. We're talking about a guy who, when fully healthy, looked like a mix of Patrick Surtain II and Derek Stingley Jr. That's the level we're talking about. And look, we've seen injury concerns drop players before. Caleb Farley in 2021 fell to the Titans at pick 22, largely due to his medicals. But with all due respect to Farley, he didn't have the clean technique, polish, or instincts that Johnson brings to the table. This could be a case where teams overcorrected, where the fear of what could go wrong made them forget just how good this kid really is. Because if Will Johnson can stay on the field, and I mean that sincerely, he could end up being the best defensive player in this entire draft class. So here's the question I'll leave you with. Did the NFL make a mistake by letting Will Johnson fall this far? Should the medical red flags have mattered this much? Or did the Cardinals just pull off one of the biggest heists of the decade? Let me know what you think in the comments. I want to hear it. Should GMs have looked past the injuries, or did they do the right thing, playing it safe? Either way, don't forget to like the video, subscribe for more draft breakdowns, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an upload. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.